There is yet another manhunt underway, and this time it is not because of some accidentally released prisoner. This time it is the three suspects in a shooting that has taken place in Huddersfield in Yorkshire. Not somewhere in America, but here in Britain. This is scary. We have had a lot of terrifying stabbings happen lately, but now to see a gun involved in Great Britain as well is absolutely terrifying. Let's take a look at a few of the details here in this GB News article, but before we do, hit the subscribe button down below if you've not already so that you can stay up to date with all the news here at Reasoned. So a manhunt has been launched for 3 men after a man was shot in the back and stabbed in the leg in his own driveway in Huddersfield yesterday evening. West Yorkshire police were called to Springwood Hall Gardens on Thursday, November 20th, following reports of a possible firearms discharge in the street at around 5:35 p.m. A police guard remains outside the property. A 27-year-old man was found in a car on the driveway at the scene and suffered a serious leg injury and minor injuries to his back. Let's take a look at, there's some footage of the scene following this incident. So you can see that is the driveway there that they have cordoned off, and they've got a policeman standing there making sure nobody goes there so that they can carry out the appropriate forensic investigations that they need to. And you can see the blood on the floor there from this horrific incident. And so we understand that he was in his car at the time, and that 2 guys pulled up. We haven't got any footage. I don't know if there's a Ring doorbell camera or something that the police may be looking at, but we understand that he is believed to have been shot in the back, and a knife was used to injure his leg as well. He is alive. He's been in hospital. Let's take a look at a few more of the details in this article. He was taken to hospital for treatment, where it was determined the leg injury, which is not being treated as life-threatening, thank God, had been by a bladed weapon. The injury to his back appeared to be from a firearm discharge, i.e. they believe he was shot. 2 male suspects are believed to have been involved in the assault and fled the scene in a black car driven by a 3rd person. That's what West Yorkshire police have said. All 3 suspects remain at large, so there's a huge manhunt going underway. These dangerous individuals are still roaming the street. These suspects, this is scary stuff, not knowing where the perpetrators are. I pray they do not do anything else whilst they are at large, and I really hope that the police are able to find these individuals. But you know, as I've shown you, we've got some footage around the house afterwards, but we haven't seen come out any kind of Ring doorbell footage or anything that could help lead the police to see who these people are, what the number plate is on the car that was being driven. I don't know if any of the footage of that is out there. That may just be purely an eyewitness account about these two people leaving in a car driven by a 3rd person. But the police, they will be doing their investigations. Now, of course, whilst the investigations are ongoing, I can't really speculate as to exactly why this has happened, what the motives were and whatnot. But I'm just going to give you the details of what the police have told us so far. They say any incident in which firearms are discharged in our communities is treated with utmost seriousness, and I can promise residents a full investigation into what took place is underway. In this instance, it appears a firearm was discharged, with suspects then assaulting the victim inside his car with a bladed weapon before making off. This has clearly been a very violent, targeted incident, and it is important persons prepared to behave in such a lawless way are brought to justice as quickly as possible. So the police, they're describing it as a targeted incident. To me, that sounds as though they are suggesting that this was an individual that was known to the suspects but we don't have any further detail on that at the moment. We'll wait to see what comes out of it. As I said, we do not know yet what the motives are exactly. I'm not going to speculate on that whilst the police are investigating. And last of all, there were some witnesses that saw this that were absolutely horrified. A few of the neighbours have spoken to the press. One of the neighbours said, "I heard shots. He was saying, 'Help, I need help.'" And then people apparently ran over to try and help him, and one of the neighbours was using towels to try and stem the bleeding. Hats off to them, because it is so important. If you ever see somebody who has been shot, has been stabbed, that you get that bleeding under control, so they do not bleed to death whilst you're waiting for an ambulance and to get them to the hospital. Do learn the basics on how to do that, because you are never going to know when you're going to end up in that situation. Same goes for CPR and all of that, folks. So that is the latest. It seems like the manhunts are constant these days, but this is a pretty scary one. Thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you all in the next video.